Yo, yo. Today I'm going to be doing a VOD review and an in-depth guide on Dev Voids 1 through 8. It's going to be very detailed. There's going to be a lot of screen markering and pausing and all sorts of yapping. So if you don't want to see that kind of guide, this may not be the one for you, but I'm going to break things down very detailed, try to make it as simple as possible to hopefully get those who are new at this content, or maybe not even particularly new at this content, just semi experience, maybe help you guys along and get you into the later waves more consistently and get you those drops, get yourself some GP or some items for your Iron Man. But so we're just going to dive right in. So for gear, I'm using Elite Void Range with a Scorching Bow. The alternatives to that would be a T-Bow, or if you don't have those, I would maybe do Well Gothic Sleeps and get yourself a Synapse, either your Iron or on your main. It'll make your life a lot easier, and this gear setup is really chill, and it's doable for waves 1 through 8 and onward, if you end up getting to that point. So for my melee swap, I'm using Emberlight. You can use Arclight. You can use Darklight. It's recommended to use Demon Bane because the grubs that you'll be killing will die with one hit to Demon Bane. If you don't have those, then you're going to have to hit them twice. And it's probably not going to be a fun time. So, Demon Bane, good. We like Demon Bane. So for my melee punish, which I'll get into detail of what that is, I'm using dual Makuhitos. With Ferocious Gloves, you can replace those with Pharaoh's Gloves, or you can just use Emberlight if you want to, if you're just trying to get comfortable. I use Chally as an optional spec weapon. You can use ZCB, that would be best in slot. You can use Ralos if you want defense reduction. Apart from that, my mage weapon is just a Master Wand. You can use a Skull Scepter if you want to be cheap. I think you can even use Slayer Staff, but I'm not 100% on that. Just any cheap wand or any staff that can auto cast RC spells. So you're going to want to use Superior Demon Bane. So Superior Demon Bane is the lower variant and not the higher variant of the Demon Bane spell. The reason why we're using the low one is because if you're brewed down during the fight, like if you took a lot of damage and you need to brew back up, you don't want to sip your 3 brew sips and then be unable to cast at the mage grub. And then it gets completely awkward. So we're just going to circumvent that by using Superior Demon Bane, the light blue one. So let's get into it, yeah? Let's get this Yap Fest on. So just a simple explanation off the start. So he will use 3 attacks. He will use Mage, he will use Range, and he will use Melee. Mage blue, Range green, Melee orange. So this is what it looks like. Spiky ball. What's this little guy? This little grub. So why do we have these marks? Because we don't want to let these go into that. So we don't want little homie to get into big homie. Because what happens if little homie gets into big homie is he will charge him up and he will heal him and he will also do damage to you at the same exact time. The way that it works is the more that you let in throughout the fight, the more damage that it'll do as the fight progresses, and it carries on through waves. So you want to make sure that you're taking care of these as soon as possible. You can either kill them at a distance or you can kill them up close. We'll get into detail on that of when you'll need to destroy them close to the boss and when you can do it away. So this will be an instance where you can do it either far or near. It's up to you. If you do it near, it does a little bit of damage to him, and I guess that makes your life a little bit easier in terms of DPS. But to be completely honest with you, it's pretty negligible unless you're going for deep, like just maximum DPS and trying to go for PBs. But we're not here for that. If you want that, go for Bodhi, go for No Monkey, go for people who are way better than me at this game. So what we're going to do is we're just going to start hitting the boss. You're praying your offensive prayer, and then you're going to get ready to pray against this projectile. Always important. Protection prayers first, grub second, hitting the boss third. So we're going to play. So I'm going to pray against this. The first wave is really chill. The projectiles are slow. Everything moves slow. It's very easy. So I hit the grub, I hit him. So what do we have here? This is the melee punish phase. So what this is when you see that he has Prey Mage and Prey Range on, you're going to want to swap to the dual Makuhitos or any melee weapon that you'd like. You can do it with Scythe. You can do it with Dark Light, Arc Light, Ember Light, as long as you're hitting the boss and stopping him from charging. So what he's basically trying to do right now is he's trying to charge up the biggest attack and headshot you. What happens if he gets the attack off on you, it'll completely chunk you to oblivion in the early waves. It'll one-shot you in the later waves, and it'll take all that damage, and then he'll full heal himself, and then you have to do the fight all over again. And that's not something we want to do, yeah? So we see him charge. We see him praying mage and praying range. We put on our melee weapon. I'm going to pray piety here. And I'm going to hit him with a Makuhitos. I'm going to step back. And I'm going to get ready to pray against this next part here. So what we have here is the falling boulder. So these are color coordinated. So brown will be ranged, guaranteed first, all the time. The blue one will be mage, starting first, all the time. So just bear that in mind. You always want to pay attention because it gives you a leg up and gives you one less thing to worry about. When you see two projectiles coming at you at different speeds, you want to make sure that you have your first one correct. That way it makes the sequence of protection prayers a lot easier as it goes on. So we have that covered. We have going up against this. You see this? We want to melee big guy. We see big ball. We want to get ready to pray range. So what that will also do is it'll smite you. So I have my range spray up right now. The moment the boulder cracks, it'll place a boulder destination, a falling boulder destination of where you're standing. So you want to step out of the way and you want to turn your prayer back on after the boulder cracks. Yeah. So we're going to run up, hit the boss with Makuhitos, cancel his charge attack. And then we're going to step back out of melee range because we don't want to get stung by a stinger. It's not fun and it does true damage and you can't pray melee against it. So hit boss, step back, turn on range prayer again. So we hit him, swap back to my range gear, put my rigor on, and I'm just hitting the boss again. So you're going to keep doing this on repeat. You just stand here, hit boss. So we have another grub here. So another grub and another charge phase. So what do we learn? We instantly want to swap to our melee switch. We want to go up and hit the boss, and we want to get ready to pay attention to the falling boulder that's about to crack and drop a boulder and a projectile on our head. So, but now this grub has prey range. Normally you would be ranging these things to make it a lot easier. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to break his charge attack. I'm going to swap to Ember Light, and I'm going to one-shot the grub. And I'm going to step back, go back out of my range gear, and we're going to go back onto the boss. Sound good? Perfect. He's dead. That charge is stopped. We stop this projectile. Fantastic. So he'll spam these. These are at random. The only time it's not at random is when he does a charge attack. So we kill that grub, get him out of the way. We get ready for this falling boulder. We step out of the way. We pray range. So I purposefully pause here. And I'm not hitting the boss for specific reasons so I can explain to you this mechanic. So these are the volatile earth pillars. I just call them pillars. So for the sake of this, we're going to call them pillars. Some people call them trees. You can call them whatever you want. Whatever is easier for you to understand, we're just going to call them pillars, okay? So the way that these work is he is about to start doing a ground slam attack very shortly. And what the orb does is similar to Leviathan, if you've ever done it, is while standing inside of the orb, it'll mitigate damage. In this instance, it'll make you completely immune to his ground slams. So first things first, you want to try and, when you're looking at these things, you want to just take a quick look around the room. So what do we see here? We see them in all different placements. I know it looks overwhelming and it looks complicated, but it's all right. We're going to make this real simple. It's going to be really easy to understand. Unless you feel geometry like me, then maybe you're going to have a rough time on some of these waves, but it's okay. Anyway, so I'm clicking to show this one because this is the one that I'm going to attack first. So when setting up the path for your orb, you're going to want to shoot the furthest pillar first, because what that does is that sets the destination for the orb to follow along that you're going to set on your second one. So I'm going to hit this one first. I'm going to walk toward this one. And when I'm ready, I'm going to hit this pillar. And after a tick or two, it'll spawn the protection orb that is a 3x3 that you want to walk with the entire time, and make sure that you're staying in it. The way that you know that you're inside of the orb is that your character will glow white. That means you're immune to his ground slams. As the waves go on, he'll start adding more slams into the process, and you'll have to stay into the orb longer. So the way that this works is you want to aim for anything that is in a straight line. So we're either going straight diagonally, or we're going straight vertically, or horizontally, whichever way you want to look. So this would be vertical, this would be horizontal for the sake of my camera angle. So again, we aim for a far one first, and we step to a close one, and we pop this one here, and then the orb will start going this way. Just stay in the orb, okay? Perfect. Hopefully that was easy to understand. Just bear in mind, he might drop rocks on your head as this is happening, so it might make it a little complicated, but it's okay. Take a deep breath. You're chilling. All right, we're going in now. So I hit the first one. I pray mage. I walk next to the second pillar. I kill the worm. I get inside. As you can see, I'm glowing white now. I have a projectile on my head. I just make sure I pray against that. Then I'm going right back onto the boss. And that's it. Problem solved. So congratulations. Hopefully you made it through wave one. If you didn't, sit down, get back in there. You're a Chad. We're going to get through this together. So wave one and wave two are very similar to one another. So we have the same projectiles that we're praying against. So again, now this is the first time I think we're seeing the mage ball. So this is what it looks like. So now we know what both looks like. Brown, blue. Blue mage, brown range. So now we have two projectiles that you want to focus on from the boulders. That's why it's important to understand which one is coming at you first, so it makes it easier to pray against. So for this wave, so now we see that it's brown. It'll be range, then mage, always, no matter what it looks like. Some of them will look like they're coming at you fast or slow, irrelevant. As long as you know which one's coming at you, I know it's going to be range, then mage. So I do the melee punish. So this is another little thing here. Quite the interesting freeze frame I have here, but that's okay. So this stuff is the juice. So we get the juice from executing the boss with a melee punish with your own damage. To my understanding, I could be wrong on that, but that's what I know so far. So this will cleanse the area of acid. This could be potentially important for later waves, but it's not something you're really going to want to focus on, and it can also heal you. Is there anything else that is needed to be known about that? I don't think so. So that's pretty cool. If you get that, you get some free heals, you clear some acid. So we're going on to wave 3. So now we're starting to introduce acids. So these things will be going along the way as the waves go on. You just want to make sure that you don't step in it, because if you do, you get venom. Not too fun. So what we bring anti items for. So now this is the charging phase. So what's this? So what happens here is this yellow bar will start charging up. During this phase, he needs to be attacked with Demon Bane only. No other weapon. So Dark Light, Arc Light, Ember Light, Scorching Bow, Purging Staff, or Arceus spell. Anything Demon Bane will reset his bar. If he charges all the way up, it's similar to the melee punish charge up. If he fully charges up, he'll pop your head off, and then you're restarting. Or he's at full heal. Not fun. So what else we have here is this blue bar. So this blue bar is his shield. How do we get this shield down? We hit the boss with a Demon Bane weapon, preferably Scorching Bow. And then you also have these worms. So these are where worms become your best friend. So what he's going to do is his intention is to go to the boss, and you want to stop him right before he enters the boss. If you do that, he blows up in a 3x3 and it'll do damage, 100 damage to his shield. We like that because we want to get out of a 500 shield situation as quick as possible. So we can go on to the next floor, right? So we keep hitting boss, keep hitting boss. I see him come close. I'm going to hit him with Ember Light. I'm going to hit that one with range because he's protecting melee. Go back to hitting boss. Same thing. So that's another thing you want to be careful for. That's a big thing. You just saw the melee attack there with the stinger. So if you're next to him at any point or as he's exiting charging phase, he can hit you with a quick melee. And it's not fun because, again, it's true damage. There's nothing you can do about it. No prayer, no nothing. That's what he wants. So we go for the melee punish. We step back. I know it's going to be mage first. So I go mage, then range. He does it again. We go into the melee punish. We hit him. We step back. We pray range mage. And we hit the boss. He does melee punish again. We do the same process. So one thing I forgot to mention, now that I just remembered. So with the melee punish, the reason why dual Makuhitos are good or Scythe is good, stuff like that, Chali's good, is when you hit the boss with that weapon on the melee punish, it'll do your damage, plus it'll add a damage multiplier based on the hit spots. It's also good to incorporate strength bonus so you can hit higher and get bigger hits for the punish, for the amount of damage on him as well. So we hit that worm. That's good. We pray against these things. So now we're going to do another pause. So now that we're on wave 4, you're going to start seeing grubs that have specific coloring to them. So red means you need to hit it with melee. It'll be mage in range prayer. So we hit that with melee. The green one will be the range one that you want to hit with range. He's protecting against mage and melee. And then the major is going to be blue, who's protecting against melee and ranged. So we're back in charge phase. We're doing the same thing that we did last wave. We're just hitting the worm as he gets close, so it does 100 damage to him. Hit that worm, another 100 damage. I'm just staying on top of these so they don't go into the boss and do damage to me or give me any headaches later on. Another nice thing is all your weapons are 1 tick apart from mage. So your range on the grubs would be 1 tick and their melee would be 1 tick. So we're going to do another pause here because these boulders now in wave 4 have 3 projectiles. So again, another important thing to pay attention to the projectile in the air, okay? So it'll be blue ball, mage, range, mage, plus his attack. Green ball or brown ball for range attack. It'll be range, mage, range, plus his attack. Simple? Fantastic. Okay, so here we go. So now he's going to do multiple ground slams. So I hit the far pillar. I focus on my prayers. I thankfully make it in time to nullify the ground slams. So it can get a little tricky. If you've never done Awakened Leviathan before, you never had to deal with multiple prayers while moving inside of an orb, it's going to be a tricky thing for you to learn, but it's all good. A bit stressful. It happens. You're chilling. Practice makes perfect. So we just keep hitting boss. Boss die. We go next floor. All right, so for wave 5, we have one more new mechanic that we have to pay attention to, and that's going to be the car phase. So car phase is where he starts to turn himself into a little automobile, little demon car looking thing, and he starts driving around looking to run you over. We want to step out of the way. So again, we're going into charging phase, making sure that we attack each grub close to the boss. So we reduce his shield and stop him from getting healed and doing damage to ourselves. Grub good. Look at him. He's a little car. Look at this guy. We step out of the way once we see that little destination tile on the ground. Make sure to pause it and highlight it. Okay, so he will place this little eye looking thing. That's where he's going to drive to. He places that based on where you're standing. So if you're standing on a diagonal, he's going to drive diagonally. If you're standing like I am in the middle here, he'll just go straight. So within these bounds, he's going to drive this way. If I'm standing outside, he's going to start going in different directions, so on and so forth. He'll go here, up there, he'll go in the middle, so on and so forth, right? Hopefully that's pretty easy to understand. So we just get out of the way, and we just click boss. He's not quite scary yet. So there's a lot going on here, right? So we take care of these grubs. We go back into the boss. We identify a far pillar. We get ready to pray against the ball that's incoming. And we destroy our second pillar and get in the orb. Mage, range, mage. We dodge the triple ground slam. We're chilling. Afterwards, he's going to go right back into charge again. So it'll be his base phase. He'll go into car phase. He'll exit car phase. He'll do pillar phase. After pillar phase, he'll do charge phase. Hopefully that makes sense, right? And that rotation will always be the same. So there's not anything that you have to worry about or anything that's going to be unexpected. So again, we're just doing the same thing we're always doing. We're prioritizing these. I'll take care of these grubs. He places destination. I get out of the way. He's going to place his destination. We get out of the way. We hit boss. He's going to be getting ready to do his pillar phase. We're just going to completely ignore him. He's going to die before anything even happens anyway. So we just hit boss. He dies. We go next. All right. So now we are going on to wave 6. We're going to make sure that we are brewed up, restored up, divined up, the whole 9 yards. Because this is where things start to get a little interesting. So now the room is clear, which is going to be quite nice because it's going to introduce a new mechanic. Floor's not clear anymore, now is it? So he's going to start adding new acid. So we have more worms that spawn together. And we're going to start seeing a new mechanic. So we go for the melee punish. We step back. We go back into range. We go mage, range, mage. So he's charging again. So we do our same thing as usual, right? We hit the grub when he's close to the boss. Break down that shield. And then that's when we're going to see the new mechanic. So it's going to be like car phase, but now he's going to implement ground slams. So ground slams do a pretty significant amount of damage, so you want to try to avoid those if you can. Okay, so he sees his destination here. What I'm going to do now that it's wave 6, and I want to avoid ground slams. So how do we stop the ground slams? We stand behind boulder. Boulder good, we like boulder. So I'm going to run to any of the boulders. So these are all good. This, that, the other, so on and so forth. But there's something you have to bear in mind, is that he will drive over any of the boulders that are in his way and destroy them. And that's not very good, because if you don't have a boulder to stand behind, you're just going to have to sit there and face tank it, which can be not very fun, especially if you're low on supplies, you're struggling, you're learning. You don't want to have to panic and worry about somebody crushing your head, right? So we stand behind a boulder, and we just continue to hit boss. So he will also send 2 projectiles. So we have a mage, and we have a melee that we pay attention to. So I'm behind the boulder, focusing on the prayers. And I'm back on the boss. I purposefully place my position, because like I said, right, he will look at where you are and will choose his destination based on your placement. So I see the other boulders that I have in the room. I want to try to preserve these as much as I possibly can because these are what stop me from taking damage, right? So I place him in a way that he is not going to run over any boulders, and I'm going to run to a safe boulder and get ready to pray against what's coming towards me. So again here, so I see that I have one boulder left. This is very important. So I'm going to preemptively put myself in a position to where he is not going to drive towards that boulder and destroy it and make me take a ground slam. So he places his destination. I get out of the way. I pray. I'm back on boss. After this is going to be pillar phase again. So you want to get prepared for that. So I'm looking for a straight line, ideally as straight as possible, and a comfortable distance. So I take care of my prayers and I stay within the orb. I'm staying immune. Everything's all good. So he's going to go back into charging again. So we're just going to keep rinsing and repeating now. It's going to become very repetitive, which is also good because it'll allow you to learn quicker. It's not a lot of things that you won't expect. After this, you should be able to go into this and know exactly what's coming for the most part. So hopefully I make that simple enough. If you're still here after all this time, I appreciate it. I just want to try and help people out, do the best that I can to make everybody understand the new content in this regard. Make it good for everybody, especially beginners, just like teaching people. I want to make it a fun game that we all can enjoy. So, again, we're getting ourselves all brewed up, repot, make sure our restore is good. So, what's the difference between wave 6 and wave 7? Is the boulder projectiles are now going to come at you way faster. So we take care of those grubs. So here we go. I'm getting ready to sidestep the falling boulder. So you can see the noticeable difference there in speed. So he goes into his charging phase. Obviously, we know this now. We take care of all these grubs. We get the shield broken down. He's going to enter car phase. He's going to do the same thing that he did on wave 6. So you're going to want to pay attention to your boulder placements that you have available to you. You're also going to want to carefully place him in an advantageous position. I place him directly to the west, stand behind a boulder. I pay attention to what I have now. I place him in a good advantageous position again. I now pay attention. So unfortunately here, I couldn't get him at an angle enough. So I am running for the hills. I'm trying to save my life from this shockwave. I make it out of the range of it anyway. So it's okay. So again, these are coming quick now. Range, mage, range, mage. I shoot the far pillar. I shoot the close pillar. I take care of these grubs and I stay within the orb and I'm hitting the boss as I'm moving. Staying safe, attack. Move, attack, so on and so forth. If you're new to this, it's completely normal to die. It's okay to be frustrated. It's all good. You'll get there. It just takes time, takes repetition, takes practice. Just stick it out. You'll get through it. It's all good. So we just keep doing the usual. Break it down his shield. We're getting ready to do car phase once more. I know that he's low enough to the point where it's not going to be a problem. Again, I purposefully place him in that corner, protect my boulders. I look at the ones that I have now. I know he's going to go straight, but it's all right because he's dead anyway. But if he wasn't, I was just going to go stand behind those boulders to the south there. All right, so we're about to see me take an absolute megaton of damage. So wave 8, this is where it starts to get fun. Nothing changes after wave 8. It'll just be the same wave over and over again. So the difference here, this is going to be real fun now, okay? If you haven't seen this yet, it's about to be very fun. So you get the triple grub spawn. So I take care of those. So what's this now? We have a melee charge phase, which we want to break. we have triple grubs that we want to take care of, and we also have double falling boulders. So this is where you're going to want to put all the knowledge that you have together from all the previous waves, and you're going to really want to put them to work here. So what's going to happen is the first boulder is going to smite me. Your instinct is going to be, well, I'm smited. I want to put my prayer back on. Do not do that after the first boulder cracks, right? Say it with me. We do not put a prayer back on after the first boulder cracks. So we just pay attention to those. So I'm going to go into my melee gear. I take care of these grubs. I'm going to hit the boss. I'm going to step back. So you're going to want to pay attention to the way that my movement is here. So the first boulder cracks, I don't put my prayer on. So the first boulder, remember, all the boulders that drop will leave a boulder where you're standing. So you want to step one tile away to a safe tile. And the second boulder is going to do the same thing too. So you take one step to dodge the first falling boulder, and then you take a second step to dodge the second falling boulder. So after the second boulder cracks, that's when we can start paying attention to what we're going to pray here. So we know that it's double brown ball. So we're going to do range, mage, range. The second one is going to follow very shortly after. So it's going to be range, mage, range again. So in total, what are we doing? We're doing one step away, another step away. After the second boulder cracks, we get our prayers up. You want to pay attention to what color that they are. So in this circumstance, it'll be range, mage, range, range, mage, range. Plus his attack afterwards. So I take care of these grubs. Again, we got the same thing. So the very important thing to get you away from this circumstance is to get the boss below 75% HP. Once the boss is below 75% HP, he'll go into his charging phase. That buys you a lot of time to maybe heal up from any damage you may have taken and allows you to collect yourself to get ready for the next car phase. So again, he's going double range rock in the air. So I get smited. I take one step to dodge the first boulder. And I'm putting on my prayers up. Same thing as first. So my DPS is not ideal here, so I get pillared. So this is where things start to get really fun. And I'm going to plank hella hard here, but that's okay. It might happen to you. It's happened to me plenty of times. It happens. Or maybe you're a gamer. And this is something that you can completely take care of in perfect succession. So what's going to happen here is I'm going to have to take care of both grubs or all three of the grubs, or I can ignore them. Ideally, it would probably be ignore them if I've taken care of all of them up until this point. We do the same thing. Obviously start to panic because I know that I'm dead here, so I just focus on my prayers. Stomp, stomp, dead. Sad days. But all in all, that was a nice 33-minute yap session. I hope you learned something. I hope that if you're a beginner, you stuck it through and I answered any of the potential things that may have been confusing or maybe even help some people who are semi-experienced and just looking to get a bit better to move on to the further waves. So anyways, if you liked the video, give it a like. If you have any questions, feel free to comment and I'll get to you as quick as I can. And I will try to make more guides later. So if you want to subscribe, feel free to do so. And sorry, I'm stammering at this point. It's a lot of yapping. 34 minutes wrong. Damn. Anyways, I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to go eat some food. I'm going to go do some more delve. Have fun. I hope you get some drops and I hope you learn some stuff. See you later.